Hey everyone, bringing you your full moon reading. So we have the full moon in Libra. So that influence, so we've got two influences going on here. We have three influences going on here. We have the full moon. All right. So the moon can be kind of be very mysterious. But the full moon can also, there's a tendency for us, things to go crazy during the full moon. But we also have the influence of it being in April. So we have that Aries energy, that very fiery, very sense of self energy. Okay. That's a tenacity. But it's also in the astrological sign of Libra. So with Libra, it's all about balancing the scales. So if you're looking to seek balance in your life, okay, you want to work with the energies of this moon. Oh my God, these cards are going everywhere. Okay, so I think that's the fiery energy, the craziness, the fiery energy of the moon, okay, is affecting my shuffling, because the cards just went kind of crazy. They scattered everywhere. That's the fire, okay. Okay, so we have the first card that we have here is the Six of Cups. So there's a partnership here. Okay, the Sense of Cups has a sense of partnership. So you have emotional ties to significant others, significant people in your life with the Six of Cups. Wow, these cards are going nuts. We have the two of Swords. Okay, so that reinforces that emotional partnership that's happening here with the Two of Swords. So I sense that there was possibly not necessarily an argument, but an exchange of words, exchange of thoughts. Okay, so this partnership, this emotional partnership here, it was an offering. So you're perhaps offering some advice here. And it's very intense. It's serious. There's serious business here. It's like, I feel like there's almost kind of like a staring competition happening here. Like who's going to prevail? Who's going to win? Yeah, so you're doing some intellectual battle. With this emotional offering, it's like you're being offered an opportunity to do some type of dueling or battling, but it's on an intellectual level. That's right. That's what I just heard. That's right. That's just what I just heard in my head. That's right. Yeah, so you've got someone here who's kind of very bold, very confident. That's right. That's what I heard. That's right. It was just kind of like that's right. You know who you're talking to. You know who you're dealing with. You know, very, very confident, almost kind of cocky energy happening here. But you respect one another. There's something about, here we go. There's something about the way that these hands are extended to one another. It's a very gentle give and take. It's coming from a place, it's definitely coming from a place of love. So this is mischievous. This is mischievous. It's kind of like you're having like this banter going back and forth. This energy here is kind of like a mischievous, friendly, but kind of taunting, but in a place of respect. Oh, this is very interesting. This energy that I'm picking up on this relationship here, it's very interesting. You do love one another very much, but you do like to kind of like needle one another. That's kind of like your thing. Yeah, and it ends up in a passionate union in the bedroom. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's cool, right? So you guys kind of get off on this, like, you have this like mental foreplay. You have this intellectual foreplay that you do, and it's a give and take. It's very emotional. It's very intellectual. It's intense. It's fiery. It's intense. It's passionate. You know, and it's like both of you like to kind of like one up one another. I get this sense of like both of you love to one up each other, but it's all in good fun. And it's this intellectual kind of dance that you do that is it provides a sense of intimacy, but it's also very sexy for both of you. Both of you are very turned on by this. So you don't really, that's your foreplay. You don't have you don't have a physical foreplay, you have an intellectual foreplay. And for those of you who, you know, I think if you do not, if you relate to this right now, that's great. This could be happening for a lot of you, but the reason why your sexual chemistry may be stalled, so if you're opposite of this, okay, if you do not relate to this message, or if this isn't the type of relationship that you have, you might want to think about introducing some intellectual stimulation, injecting that into your relationship, okay? Because that is what's going to bring you this sexual chemistry. It's going to ignite your sexual chemistry. So instead of it being always physical, for those of you who just have a very physical sexual relationship, you want to introduce some intellectual chemistry. You need to relate with one another more on an intellectual level than just exclusively sexual. I think this is an awesome message, actually. Okay, I think that's the message for tonight, all right, with the full moon energy. I think that's the message that we have here for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one oracle card from the Queen of the Moon oracle deck, which I think is appropriate with the full moon energies. Mother Moon, right? Looking over us tonight. The goddess Selene, who rules the moon. All right, so here is the card right here. And we have fear. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to embrace change in your relationship. I wish I could. I got to put my glasses on. I haven't been wearing. Jeez. I got like these slippery fingers. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Okay, that's so much better. Yes, some of you are experiencing fear. And it's giving you, it's really, there's some anguish here. Some of you are afraid. We've got all these birds circling, and you're dressed in black. I think with this, you need to take charge. Don't allow the fear, whatever fear that is here in this relationship, or any fear that you are experiencing, or whatever it is you're afraid of, don't allow it to run your life. Yeah, this card is really it's really just very interesting with we've got the circling crows or circling ravens. But it's like, when I think of, so they're tethered. The birds are tethered, but they're still circling. And when I think of circling birds, I think of when there's like carnage, like the birds are ready to descend and pick on the rotting flesh in the desert, like. And there is definitely fear is in control here. I'm not sure why this card all of a sudden came out, because it really doesn't make sense. But for those of you who are experiencing fear, try to break free of the fear. I feel like I need to do another oracle card, because I don't really understand like how there's this like sudden shift of energy. I feel like I have gone from a very high to a very low. I don't know why there's fear here. Why is there fear? I guess I thought this reading was over, but I guess it's not. Because I'm just not understanding why there is fear here. all of a sudden, like it's really, like the energy, it's really bringing me down. Like I can feel like a pit right here. The more that I look at this card, and I don't know why all of a sudden. Why all of a sudden is this fear here? It's Jesus, like this, there's been a complete shift of energy. I don't know why. Why is there fear? Why are there all these circling birds, but they're tethered? So there is control here. It's like you're almost kind of like you're inflicting fear on others. Full moon. Oh, that's interesting. This card is full moon power. Don't be afraid to harness the power of the full moon. Yeah, because this fear just was not making any sense. So don't be afraid to harness the energy of the full moon, the power of the full moon. Are you afraid of are you afraid of your own power? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? You seem to be afraid of your own power, but you shouldn't be. You should be embracing your power. You should feel confident about your power. Don't let anyone take your power. I feel, yeah, I've gone into a completely different reading. Gone into a completely different reading here. Fruition. Don't be afraid to embrace your power. Because when you embrace your power, there will be fruition in your desires, in whatever you want, in your intentions. Your desires, your intentions, your wants, everything will come to fruition. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, so I want this to end on a good note. I feel like for some reason I had to deliver this separate message. So it's obviously it's pertinent to the previous message, or it could just be someone from this previous message needed to hear something that just was singularly for him, her, not as a couple, but just as a single. All right, everybody, I'm sorry for the kind of like ambiguous messages here. I know there was a couple of messages, but anyways, obviously it was meant, it went into that other direction. So there was another message here in the oracle that needed to be delivered, that needed to come out, that I needed to convey. All right, everybody, you take care. And see you next time on Tiffany Love Tarot. Bye-bye.